need to know that on Monday for my Thursday flight so I can decide whether to pack a bag to check or whether to ship a bag ahead of time, which is sometimes less costly in this market. We want to know what it is going to cost. And what the dialogue that you just engaged in with the chair reflects to me is we're all captives on your airplanes at a certain point. And you just say, oh, you want to pick a seat, we're just going to charge you some random amount more. And what we're trying to get at is why, and how much does it actually cost you? And why can't some of your airlines tell people ahead of time how much this is going to cost? The basic premise of consumer choice is that we get to price different products from competitors, make a comparison, put in our needs, and figure out what the best deal is. And what we have not been able to get at in this hearing with you is why it is so hard for you all to be transparent about the product. Americans don't generally love their flying experience, unless perhaps they're wealthy enough to always fly first class or business. And so it would be good if you guys could be transparent about what you do and why. Now, Mr. Schroeder and Mr. Klein, the reason I decided to ask a second round of questions was because when I asked you both why there was you required people to input personal information before they could get some of the pricing for your products, you both assured me very quickly with a nod of the head or with a verbal answer that you didn't use the personal information for pricing purposes. But then when Senator Hawley asked you a little bit more in depth about that, you both equivocated or essentially said you did. So I would like to understand, Mr. Schroeder, I think it's seating that you said you still have to enter the information. Why do people have to put in personal information before they can get a price on your seating?
So that I had stated before, first of all, we do not use personally identifiable information to price at all.
Well, then why are you requiring people to put it in before they can get a price?
This is something that was built in 2014. I was not here for it. However, we look at the ways that we can best set up for customer experience and have a great customer experience. And that starts from the moment people are thinking about travel to the time that they're booking on our website, to the time that they're flying and beyond. And so we continuously review what the best opportunity is.
So are you going to give a different experience to Maggie Hassan, who's 66 years old from Newfields, New Hampshire, than you are from Josh Hawley, who's younger and from Missouri? I mean, what's the deal here? I go on airplanes all the time. You telling me that you're personalizing my experience because of that personal information I gave you?
No, what I was trying to say, and I apologize if it didn't come across this way, I was trying to say that we care about customer experience, and so we review that. This is something that the website hadn't been updated since 2014 around this particular placement on it.
All right, so, but can you commit to me today that your airline will stop requiring people to input personal information before they can get a price? You can ask them all you want, and you can make it optional, or you can give them an incentive for providing their personal information to you. They might get a little bit back for that. But will you commit to ending the practice of requiring people to enter their personal information before they can even understand how much the flight is going to cost them?
I will commit to you, and this is what we always do, that we will review and look at what is the best customer experience for folks, and do look at what that is.
I'm looking at transparency because you said you're committed to it. You said your airline is committed to it.
Yeah.
That is the foundation for a good customer experience. Mr. Klein, do you use, why do people have to input personal information before they can get a full account of the prices that they will need to pay?
Yes, Senator, I appreciate your question. We do not use, as I've stated a number of times, personally identifiable information for any pricing whatsoever. There is one exception. When our members of the military are flying, we do ask them if they're members of the military.
Right.
So when they're flying and when their families fly with them, they get benefits. And we want to make sure that we're aware of that and give them the right price for transparency up front. So we want to make sure that they're aware of that. So that is, to be fair, that is one example where we do use
but
it.
that is, putting aside the members of the military, and I'm very glad that the airline community honors our servicemen and women with preferred boarding and special pricing. That's very appropriate, and I'm glad you all do that. But I am talking about why people have to enter personal information before they can get at some of the prices that you are going to add on to their baseline ticket.